Hey everyone, welcome back to Stag Voiceover. My name is Neil Glasgow. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a before you buy style review of the pay-to-play site Voices.com. In this video, I'm going to give you my honest opinion about some of the ups and downs of the platform, where I think they work really well, some of the areas I think they might improve, and what you could possibly expect using the platform. Now, I'm not going to give any negative reviews based on any experiences I might have had or any experiences anyone I know might have had. This is just how the platform's set up, how it works, and what you can expect. Now, full disclosure, I am not sponsored by this platform in any way whatsoever, and I just want to provide you with all the information that you might need when spending your money on these pay-to-play sites. So, with that in mind, let's get into it. So, Voices.com bills itself as the largest voiceover audition site, and arguably it is one of the big hitters when it comes to pay-to-play auditions. So, this is how it works. The basic concept is you don't need to look for opportunities. Auditions essentially come to you. You pay your membership, and based on your profile, the languages you speak, the accents that you can do, there is a matching criteria, and that's how the platform provides your voice, your audition, to the client. And we'll come back to accents in a moment, but it covers things like language, gender, age, role to be played, all of that sort of stuff. So my first up comes in here. The audition detail, more often than not, has some great detail about the projects. They'll tell you who they're targeting, the history of the product, that sort of thing. Gives you a real insight into how they want the role to be played. The platform promotes the need to the client to go into as much detail as possible. That way they get what they're looking for, and you as the voice actor know exactly how to deliver that. I'm going to give that one a big up. My next up is the job matching criteria itself. It will give you a percentage matching to what the client is looking for. So before the client sends out their request, their audition, they'll put in a whole bunch of criteria. I want a female between this age and this age to play this type of character, and here's all the background in it. That then goes through their algorithm, and the algorithm will match you based on their criteria to 50%, 6%, all the way up to 100%. You're a perfect match for what they're looking for. And the higher match percentage you are, the faster you'll get access to that audition. Now, just because you are a high matching criteria doesn't mean that you're going to have exclusive access to it, but it just means that you might get it before someone who's, say, a 70% match. I'll give that one an up. And yet another up is they have a like and favourite system, which I think is a really nice touch point into the voiceover. So if you do an audition and you get a like, that essentially tells you that the client has shortlisted you for that role. Doesn't mean you'll get it, but it is a little bit of encouragement to know that actually what you did was of a quality that they will at least shortlist you. They've also got a thing called favourites. So if you do a good audition or you have a good sample, the client can actually favourite you as a voice artist that they want to return to, maybe not for this project, but for another project. Again, having those visual elements for you as the voiceover artist, I think that's really good. That helps to encourage you to improve your work and also to just be more active on the platform. I like that. I'll give that another up. The last up I'll give for Voices.com is the audition fee. I've rarely, if ever, seen an audition that was lower than $100 on the platform. And some of them actually go into the multiples of thousands, which again is really good. That demonstrates that the quality of client that they have are the type of clients that you as a voice artist want to be engaging with. You're getting the right level of compensation for your work. Voices.com are providing opportunities to the voice artists that are well paying and actually turn around quite quickly. So that tells me that they're qualifying their clients correctly to be able to be passing these auditions on to us as the voiceover artist. I'll give that one another up as well. So no complaints there. And so we come to the downs. And my first down for Voices.com is their category system. Now, Voices.com is a North American-based company. Most of their clients are based in North America. So that's the United States, Canada, that North America. Now, the language section differentiates British English and American English. I can kind of see a logic there. But it also differentiates British English into Scottish English, Welsh English, Irish English. And I don't really understand why. And this is really just for the boys and girls that are in Britain and who are using this platform. You need to make sure what it is that you classify yourself as to make sure you get the right auditions. Now, I've actually spoken with Voices.com and they've said verbatim, because their client base is North American, they don't know any better. They assume British essentially is English. So, as a bit of tongue-in-cheek, for anyone who doesn't know, this is Britain. The one in yellow is England. England is not Britain. England is England, Scotland is Scotland, Britain is the country that incorporates them all. 4 countries, 1 nation. Okay, moving on. What Voices have told me when they enter a language like American or British is they're looking for a very specific sound. So if they put American, what they're not looking for is, say, Native American or a deep Boston accent or a Creole accent. They want what they describe as a neutral accent. So much the same with British. They're essentially looking for a Jude Law accent rather than maybe a John Bishop accent. And given the price point that you have when you buy into the platform, this feels like a very small tweak to differentiate between a language and an accent for the clients when they're looking for something. If they're looking for British English and they do have the opportunity to put in a specific accent, I think it's a small failing in the algorithm that they're not more specific to what it is they're looking for, thus giving the client and the voiceover actor the best possible chance to be matched up together and to be successful together. I'm giving that a down just because you are paying for a service and it just feels like a really silly mistake to make, really. So that brings me to price. Now, it's difficult to give a down to a pay-to-play platform based on price. You are paying to play, it's in the name. But Voices.com has a multi-tiered membership plan. You have Guest, which you don't pay any money, but you only have very limited access to a lot of what the platform offers, thus encouraging you to buy. That's fine, that's their business model. And on the free model, you can get invited to jobs, you can create a profile. That's pretty much it. Unless a job comes to you, that's all that can happen. The premium tier starts at $499. This allows for you to get access to auditions, to be invited privately to audition as well. So that's just a client coming directly to you. And it provides you better visibility to the client out in the market by paying. Now, the premium tier allows you access to auditions, not all auditions, which is an odd thing. You could be the perfect match for something, but you either don't get immediate access to it or don't get access to it at all because that's hidden behind yet another pay barrier. And it starts to feel a little bit tough to swallow at that point. To get access to all auditions and get top billing and searches and a dedicated account manager and all the other things that you would want from a pay-to-play platform, you're looking at an eye-watering $2,999 per year to join that tier. Now, you may be saying, okay, so what's the downside? If you're paying to have all the things, well, the downside is Voices.com also charges 20% of the client budget. Now, they've introduced a separate quoting mechanism where you have your quote for what the client's offered and the inclusive quote once Voices put their 20% on. But what you get to see is the client budget. And the client budget is inclusive of Voices.com. So not only are you potentially paying anywhere between $500 and $3,000, for every job that you do, Voices.com is also taking 20%. They're essentially acting like an agent that you're paying to be part of. And I'm pretty sure the first rule with any agent that anyone deals with, and if you don't know this, please listen up, you should never pay your agent just to be on their books. Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, and I am going to give it a down. Pay-to-play site or not, taking an additional 20% per job on top of a membership, yeah, big down. Down. Now, down number 3, this is a cattle call website. So what I mean by that is you might be one of 50, 100 people who get access to this audition, thus being a cattle call. So you're paying your membership, and quite rightly, you're not guaranteed to get that job. But your job as the voice actor is to be good enough to be selected. But where the problem comes in for me is the auditions on Voices.com will actually show how many auditions they might be looking for. So let's say the client has a budget of $500 and wants to hear 50 auditions. You might get that audition at 49 out of the 50. You might get it at 62 out of the 50. Now, I've seen regularly that the number of auditions required and the number of auditions submitted are vastly disparate. That you've had way more auditions than the client has actually asked for. When you're supposed to be competing with 50 and actually there may be 125 in that pot, that tells me there's something not quite right with the algorithm. And you may not be seeing the auditions right away. And again, it all depends on your matching score. Doesn't feel quite right. Down for me. Ultimately, Voices.com is a little bit like playing the lottery. You pay your money, you take your chances. And people win big. Often, they do win big. They become very successful on the platform. And that membership fee feels like a really small amount of money to pay. But if you're just starting out, then that's quite an outlay for nothing that's guaranteed, and for certain elements of the algorithms to not be quite as robust as you might hope they are. I think Voices.com is a good platform. There are lots of auditions that do come through there on a daily basis, a weekly basis, certainly on a monthly basis. You will absolutely get opportunity through Voices.com. I just think that when you're spending your money, when you're first starting out, knowing how the system is set up and what you might expect to find is quite valuable information. There's nothing guaranteed in this world, and there's nothing guaranteed with Voices.com, but you could win that lottery. You could pay your money and take your chances. And as I say, people are successful on that platform. You too could be successful on that platform. So, with all the ups and downs that I've mentioned, is it a platform that you should get involved in? If you can afford it. If you're just starting out and you haven't made any money yet, you haven't banked any money yet, I'd say Voices.com and others like it are platforms to invest in down the line. Maybe not your first platforms to start out with, purely because this is a numbers game. And even at $500, you're not in the top tier of numbers. It's something you have to work at to be good at, to have the correct quality, to be successful on the platform. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, drop me a like and subscribe, a comment. Absolutely fantastic. I'd really love to get your thoughts. And if you've got any other websites that you're not quite sure about joining yet, drop me a line and I can do a video specifically on that platform. Remember, you can absolutely be a voiceover artist. I'll see you in the next video.